Good morning, YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I grew like 2 or 3 since the last video, and I know that's not like a huge thing, but for me it is, so I really appreciate all the support. I did put together a chapter 3 video, but it is going to be a little different. I don't have food. I know at the end of the video, I think I said like, oh, blah, 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 I have food, but I don't. Not this time, just because I still have my meal preps from last time, and I'm gonna make another video for chapter 4 while I do the next meal prep. So this is just chapter 3 review, and I hope you learned something and you check it out and it helps you. Good morning, people, and thank you for checking out my videos. As I talked about, I am in the midst of reviewing all the chapters as I go through them for this precision nutrition course that I'm taking. I've already had a couple people reach out and be like, oh, how's the course going? I was really curious about it. So just keep following along, and hopefully if it's right for you, you decide to go with precision nutrition. So far, I'm 100% on board, and I love it. There's a couple of challenges, there's a couple like fun things, but the thing is that there's no pressure, and that they really emphasize like taking your own time, and as long as you have like the end goal in mind, that you will keep pushing yourself and you'll keep going. So that's where I'm at, and let's dive into chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3 basically talks about coaching the whole person, and then they talk about the whole person being like, clients are not just problems to solve. Like people are people and they want to change. So you have to see them as a whole and complete person. And in order to do that, it has 3 key practices. One is being client-centered. So being client-centered is basically like caring and understanding and like observing how they're talking to you and how they use language in their research, or just paying attention to the actual person and caring, using your heart and actually listening to them. That's what people appreciate. Number 2 is taking a biopsychosocial perspective. We're gonna break that one down a little bit. So basically, the word is exactly how it sounds, biopsychosocial. So you're going to take a biological perspective, basically like their age, their genetics, their hormones, how fast they recover, their metabolism. A psychological perspective, like how their mindset is, how they're thinking, how they're able to like view the world. Do they have more positive thoughts than negative thoughts? And then a social perspective of like how supported they are, whether it's at work or at home, like how their relationship to others are. You want to take all these things into accountability when you're coaching them. You want to take in all perspective, all demands, and really see them for who they are. And then the 3rd key practice to coaching the whole person is going to be coaching in deep health. Really breaking down that person. They define deep health as like 6 elements. So we have the mental health, physical health, existential health, emotional health, relational social health, and environmental health, basically taking in all kinds of accountabilities. It also goes back into the biopsychosocial approach, but it's just breaking them down even smaller into these elements. So basically physical, what their age is, like how their body feels, what they're able to do. Mental, how they're thinking, their mindset, are they more negative than positive, negative, and kind of going with that. Existential, emotional, relational, social, and environmental. I personally really liked this chapter because I believe that being a great coach means knowing and guiding ourselves. Sorry, I kind of lost my notes there. And you really have to know who you are as a person and kind of work on yourself too, and go through this process yourself in order to relate to other people to going through the same things. Like you could have the same setbacks. Your clients could, you say, hey, I had a setback in this aspect. And then if you had a similar setback, you can kind of relate, and that will build even stronger connection. And the last little keynote for chapter 3 was coaching ethically and professionally. So basically, whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you're comfortable with professionally is what you should be teaching your clients. Don't go anywhere that you don't feel comfortable, basically. And that's my chapter 3. So now we're going to get into the meal prep portion portion of the video, and I think it's gonna be fun. I haven't quite made that yet because it'll be next week's meal preps because I blew through chapter 3. I have had more time this week, so I really decided to buckle down and study. I watched all the videos, I did some case studies, I took my test, and I got a 10 out of 10. Just kidding. But not really. I really did. So I was and let's get into the food. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my process and my journey. I love and appreciate all the support that I'm getting. God first, obviously, all the blessings that He is creating for me and my family in order to do all these things. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for subscribing, and please tell your friends and your family members and everyone else. Thanks. Until next time, guys, have a good one.